the sky, streets turn to flame. We carved our names into the halls of fame. Two cities stand where once stood seven, but we fought and we'll fight again. From equality on sea to prosperity's wall, we heard the call and we did not fall. They brought the void, the static light, but hell devils live for the fight. Raise your glass, raise your voice, for the fallen had no choice. Side by side we faced the storm, held the line, kept the heart warm. Super Earth still breathes today, 'cause we never looked away. They came for all, we gave them pain. Now let the stars sing out our
Good morning, Enforcers of Truth. That was Super Earth Stands by Level Up Music Lab, repeating the words of our streamed defiance to the stars in the form of yet another epic banger. I'll be following his career with great interest and can see his audible treats being a common appearance on my show. So, top news of the day is, holy fluff, I am the Minister of Truth now. It is actually surprising how easy this was done. I swore my oaths of citizenship over the Super Earth flag, and I was given this nice office in one of the few remaining buildings that remain standing in Prosperity City. It even has a mini fridge. A mini fridge, divers. I'm gonna keep my stims in there. But before we get into the official actions of my office, the morning news, because I am the universe's greatest multitasker, and I kind of have to be because our official news source, Cora Kelly, is still in therapy after that flesh mob fell in her backyard hot tub and it drowned. You cannot imagine the smell of that. The DSS Eagle blockade is running on its last fumes of fuel at Zosma, but this has given the Helldivers just enough of an edge to finish off the incineration core here completely. For some automaton Ingrams out there, it is going to be a very long drive back to Cyberstan to explain to Papa Mainframe what went down out here. I would almost feel bad, but then I remember that Erwin dreams about him, me, and the contents of a napalm barrel, so my pity well is kind of bottomed out. In a vain effort to secure at least something from this campaign, the Collective has opened up a new front into Bekvam III, but once the Western Front fleet finishes off Zosma, I imagine they will pivot and handle this level 13 STC easily for our fourth successful defense. While the bot divers might have egos the size of factory striders, they are also as lethal as factory striders. In that if you step in front of them for a moment, you're probably going to get torn into a bag of shredded cheese. Meanwhile, the bug divers are maintaining arcanes held on Azterra masterfully well, considering that they make up about 15% of the Liberation fleet at best. I can't imagine a group of divers who accomplishes more with less. Mad respect, guys, and if anyone gives you a hard time because you like shooting bugs, tell them to come talk to me, and I'll give them a bop on the nose with my mother's newspaper. Looking at you out there, John Ghost, be nice to my bug divers. I mean it. Now, with all of that out of the way, I have some proclamations to make, edicts to pass, which is weird for me to do. Outside of my ship, I have never had the ability to give orders to anyone, and even then, it's mostly just polite requests. It's come to my understanding that the results of Gunvald's referendum has had them opt for independence. Effective immediately, the Ministry of Truth recognizes Gunvald's claims of independence and will allow them to peacefully secede from the Federation. However, I would like to keep them as a trading partner, and maybe we can negotiate a treaty of mutual defense. Otherwise, that means that they are no longer entitled to SEAF military intervention should the automatons prove too much for them. So, if that's what you want, Gunvald, you'll have it. And we wish you much profit and long life. Moving on from there, the policy of amnesty towards those who participated in the defense of Super Earth is now permanent and retroactive. All those who helped defend our planet against the Illuminate invasion have been cleared of all past crimes, wrongdoings, and accusations thereof. Similarly, a commemorative cape will be issued to all defenders defenders of Super Earth, and you can expect that to arrive in the next few weeks. Mind you, this offer only applies to past crimes. You commit new ones, you're out of luck. And you probably shouldn't be committing crimes anyway. This offer does not extend to the 104th Wolf Divers because they never broke any laws to the Super Earth Uniform Code of Military Justice and acted according to their position and expectations thereof, upholding the oath they swore to defend Super Earth and all of her colonists across the stars. It has come to my understanding that a Mr. Cusinos has filed charges of assault and treason against them, but I plan on releasing a recording later today that clears the name of the Wolf Divers beyond any shadow of doubt, that they came to the MOT building to end the feud between us, and they were attacked for it. Good luck wiggling out of this one, Cusinos, you miserable little weasel. You'll be Chief Inspector of Subway Toilets by the time I'm done with you. Now, a big one. A controversial one. I am extending a further offer of amnesty to all Chaos Divers who would wish to take it. I understand that many of you remain rebels because of the threat of persecution from the Ministry of Truth. That ends today and extends to all splinter factions of the Chaos Divers as well, such as the Autoby Division, just as an example. I was never happy on the pursued vendetta against Chaos. The idea of throwing away a good chunk of our military force when we were already losing a war was not great strategically. I know this is going to make waves, but I am told that this is my decision now, and I have made that decision. It's time to come home. Lastly, I have made the decision that all freedom camps, democracy camps, internment camps, and anything operating similarly but under different names will be closed indefinitely and immediately. The Ministry of Truth is no longer operating under conditions that will allow for prisoners of conscience. This is a new era, and we are done making the mistakes of the past. We are making new and exciting ones now, like bolting bumper car and pinball machine parts to a charger, smacking its big orange rump and letting it bounce around the Vertex Diver HQ for a while. That's been Liberty's latest with me, Pandera, the Minister of Truth. I've got a lot of work to do, so my broadcast work is going to fall off for a while. I'm going to spend this weekend working on official MOT duties, and once I do what has to be done, I will be returning to the airwaves. Because Coretta Kelly is most assuredly not okay. She probably isn't going to be okay for a while, so look for me around Tuesday of next week, dear divers. Now to ring in this new era, I am going to let my outro completely play out with visuals from Beryllia 5, where my Seraphim fought against the Automaton Collective to save civilians and safely extract them from war zones. Said Seraphim have been officially inducted into the Ministry of Truth under the newly formed Department of Celestial Safety, ensuring civilians are safely extracted from theaters of war. Think of them like excessively well-armed doctors without borders, and a sign of better days to come.
Words ring clear, an angel's call. When we out here, the broadcast lifts our spirits high. A beacon of light in warm-tongue skies. A voice that goes, a melody of light. It inspires us to stand, to join the fight. Through the blood and mud, against the endless flood. The radio angel calls us forth. In a voice we find our worth. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy's call. For super Earth, we rise and give our all. Through the galaxy's maps and endless expanse, an angel's voice leads us in this deadly dance. Her reports of battle, victories, and strife breathe strength into our weary lives. With a heart unyielding, though she see no war. Our spirit shines, we couldn't ask for more. Every message she sends, every story she tells, reminds us why we fight through heaven and hell. Through the blood and mud, against the endless flood. The radio angel calls us forth. In a voice we find our worth. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy's call. For super Earth we rise and give our all. Through the blood and mud, against the endless flood. blood. The radio angel calls us forth, in her voice we find our worth. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy's core. For super earth, we rise and give our all. In silence of space, her voice is our guide. Through chaos and strife, she's by our side. With every word, our resolve renewed. By angels light, our courage endued. And the front lines of far, we tune in to hear her, our shining star, who broadcasts a lifeline, a courageous song. With the angel's voice, we all grow strong. Though she may not see the battles firsthand, her influence spreads across the land. A symbol of hope, a pillar of grace, a beacon of light in war-torn space. Through the blood and mud, against the endless flood, the radio angel calls us forth. In her voice we find our worth. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy's core. For super earth, we rise and give our all. In the heart of the battle, when darkness looms, an angel's words cut through the gloom. Her voice a beacon guiding us through. With every broadcast, our spirits renew. From distant stars, her message clear. In every hill that is on, she's held dear. With steadfast resolve in the burning flame, we fight on for freedom's name. On every broadcast, her spirit soars, echoing through